to 12. We are live across the internet, anywhere in the world, on www.rammandir.ca. So you can inform your family, friends, and relatives anywhere in the world at the Canadian time zone, Toronto time zone. At this time, we are live on the internet for 1 hour. Ratne kalpitamasaranam himjale snanam cha digyamaram nararatnibhushitam ligamada modakitam chandanam Jati Champakavirapatra Pushpam Chadupam Tata Deepam Devayanide Pashupati Hatkapitam Griyatam Savareno Navaratna Kandarachite Patre Gritam Payasam Bhakshayam
Panchavidam Payo
Dadiyutam Rambapalam Panakam Shakanamayutam Jalam Ruchikaram Karpurakandojalam Tambulam Manasamaya Virichitam Bhaktya Prabhu Svikuru Chatram Chamarayodhyagam Pyajanakam Sadarshakam nirmalam Veenaveramidangakala Geetam chanityam tata Shasangam pranati stuti bahuvida Etat samasam maya Sankalpena samarpitam tava vivo
Pujagrihana Prabhu.
In our appeal to the Divine Lord Shiva, we declare that, O Lord, we invite you to be seated in our hearts, in our mind, in our intellect at all times. There we shall offer you and worship you mentally with all that is prescribed: champak flower, belpat leaf, Dhup, Deep, Naived, Arti. O Lord, we seek your presence in our lives, for you are the purifying element that continues to purify us as we continue to become interactive with all of the materialist world, which has the ability to make us impure. Then we appeal to you, O Bhagavan. Atma Tvam Girijamati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham Pujate Vishyo Pavoga Rachana Sanchara Pradayo Pradakshana Bidi Stotrani Sarva Giro
Yadyat karma karomi tattadakilam
Shambho Tava Radhanam Shambho Tava Radhanam. Hey Prabhu, we appeal to you, O Lord, Atma Tvam Girijamati Hisachara. O Lord, that Atma which exists within us, it's a spark of your presence, O Lord. And when you exist within this body, it becomes a temple to be used to worship you, that all of our activities is considered a form of pradikaram, moving around you in your name. O Lord, where even when we sleep, we meditate upon you. It is to you we appeal, asking for your guidance, your protection, and of course your forgiveness. Om Karacharan Kritam Va Kayajam Karmajam Va
Shravanam Jamba Manasam Vaparadam
Vihitam Avihitam Sarvame Taksham Sva Jai Jai Karunabhi
Shri Mahadeva Shambho Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya
Dhani Sa
Dhani Sa
Dhani Sa Gama
Dhani Sa
Gama Ga Sa
Gama Sa
Hari Om
Hari Om
Hari Om Brahma Murari Surarchitalingam Nirmala Vanchit Shobhitalingam Bolo Brahma
Murari Surarchitalingam Nirmala Vanchit Shobhitalingam
Janama Jaduka Vinashak Lingam
Pranamami Sadashivalingam
Brahma Murari
Surarchitalingam Nirmala Vanchit Shobhitalingam
Deva Muni Prabhararchitalingam
Ramanaham Karunakaralingam
Ravana Darapavi
Vinashakalingam Pranamami Sadashivalingam
Everybody Brahma Murari
Surarchitalingam Nirmala Vanchit Shobhitalingam
Sarva Sugandhi Sulephitalingam
Bhuti Vivardhana Karanalingam
Siddhi Surasura
Vanditalingam Pranamami Sadashivalingam
Brahma Murari
Surarchitalingam Nirmala Vanchit Shobhitalingam
Kanaka Mahamani Bhushitalingam
Manipati Veshita Shobhitalingam
Dasasuyagya Vinashanalingam
Pranamami Sadashivalingam
Brahma Murari
Surarchitalingam Nirmala Vanchit Shobhitalingam
Kumkuma Chandana Lephitalingam
Pankajahara Sushobhitalingam
Sanchita Papa Vinashanalingam
Pranamami Sadashivalingam
Brahma Murari
Surarchitalingam दिनकर कोटि प्रभाकरलिङ्गं प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारि सुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गम्
अष्टदलो परिवेशितलिङ्गम्
अष्टदरिद्रविनाशकलिङ्गं प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारि सुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गम्
सुरु गुरु सुरवर पूजित लिंगम
परात्परं परमात्मकलिङ्गं प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गं ब्रह्ममुरारि सुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गम्
निर्मल वांछित शोभितलिंगम
निर्मलभाषितशोभितलिङ्गम्
प्रेम गुरु उमापति महादेव की जय. We offer one bhajan dedicated to Lord Shiva. आप भजन गाए शिव जी का भजन.
शिव नाम से है जगत में उजाला, हरि भक्तों के है मन में शिवाला। ऐ शंभु बाबा मेरे भोलेनाथ, तीनों लोक में तू ही तू। ऐ शंभु बाबा मेरे भोलेनाथ, तीनों लोक में तू ही तू। श्रद्धा सुमन मेरा मन बिल पटरी, जीवन भी अर्पण कर दूं। ऐ शंभु बाबा मेरे भोलेनाथ, तीनों लोक में तू ही तू। मन में है कामना और कुछ जानू ना, जिंदगी भर करूं तेरी आराधना। जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ। मन में है कामना और कुछ जानू ना, जिंदगी भर करूं तेरी आराधना। मन में विश्वास है तू मुझ ज्ञान दे, जिंदगी भर करूं तेरी आराधना। तूने दिया है निर्बल को बल, अज्ञानी को ज्ञान दिया। ऐ शंभू बाबा मेरे भोलेनाथ, तीनों लोक में तू ही तू। जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ,
ओ जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
जग का स्वामी है तू, अंतर्यामी है तू, मेरे जीवन की अनमिट कहानी है तू। जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
ओ जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
जग का स्वामी है तू, अंतर्यामी है तू, मेरे जीवन की अनमिट कहानी है तू। तेरी शक्ति अपार, तेरा पावन है द्वार, तेरी पूजा मेरा जीवन आधार। धूल तेरे चरणों की लेकर जीवन को साकार किया। है संभव मेरे भोलेनाथ, तीनों लोक तू ही तू। जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
हो जय भोलेनाथ, जय भोलेनाथ।
जय भोलेनाथ, जय
भोलेनाथ।
शंभु भगवान की तालियां। अति सुंदर आवाज है। आपन आपन मन में कृष्ण भगवान का ध्यान। We focus our minds to the divine in the form of Lord Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभयस्य
विवासिन्दो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
हे कृष्णा
करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते
गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त
नमोस्तुते।
हरिर्नाम हरिनामेव केवलम् करुणास्यैव नास्यैव नास्यैव गतिरन्यथा श्रीकृष्णाय
वासुदेवाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः
प्रेम से श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की। Last week, the subject of discussion was the value of seniors, the value of our elders in our lives, in society in general. We discussed that how it is that in our current society that seniors are having a great challenge. And the challenge is no one or very few wants to own up to the responsibilities. That is, those who are not seniors are not owning up to their responsibilities towards seniors. In all societies, whether Western, Eastern, whether as ancient since the beginning of time, mankind always look after their elders. But society has changed its structure, its method of operation, days of rest. There is no such thing as a day of rest anymore. We work 7 days a week. There's no such thing as when business is shut down. Everything is all about production and productivity and economics and numbers. And caring is a very, very low priority. Because parents or seniors are experiencing what our poet tells us, that once a man, twice a child syndrome, that in the second stage of being needed to be cared for. How does this relate to you and I in our society, in the Hindu context of things? We traditionally know that we have always taken care of the elders because we lived in a single family home and the younger ones are there and the family home is there. Today we have many of our seniors who do not have a home. They may have a place to stay, but they don't have a home. There's quite a difference from a place to stay and a home. And they do not have that place of comfort where they're in their own domain and they have their own control. You know, as we all progress in age, and I speak with experience from observation and the reality of myself, that we all want our own domain. And it doesn't matter how much children will be wanting to do for us, we still maintain that we want to be this way. But then on the other hand, children are so occupied with their lives and their growth and their challenges that they have no time to look at those who needs that second level of attention. Society in the Western world has created what they call old age homes and convalescent homes and all kinds of other homes whereby it is the next best thing to put a senior in the home. The point of my katha today is not to say that we must put our seniors in home or we must not put them in homes. The point of our katha today says we must own up to the responsibility of looking after our seniors. And I'm sure once we own up to the responsibility, by the grace of God, we'll be guided to take the right action with the best interests of all concerned. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 3, entitled Karma Yoga, here we talk about that aspect of Hinduism that is so unique to Hinduism, whereby karma, the things we do, is so relevant to our life hereafter. And the things we did is relevant to the current life. And it says, Purab janam ka karm, yehi janam ka pal hai. That is, what we have done in a past time, we reap the fruits today, and what we do now, we shall reap the fruits tomorrow. This is called karma, combined with reincarnation. They're inseparable. Reincarnation is afforded by karma. Karma drives reincarnation. In chapter 3, Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna that this karma, Arjuna, no man or woman or child can sit motionless. Because even if we sit, in the reality, we are moving physically. And how is that possible? Gauri? I'm blinking, but although I'm sitting here, what is moving? The thoughts. Physically, what is moving?
The earth.
The earth is rotating on its axis, and I'm sitting on the earth, and that is moving. I am still moving. I never, even when I'm asleep, I'm never not moving. So much there? We never stop moving. Activity is not an option. That is, inactivity is not an option. And then many of us were alluding to the mind, that the mind is always active. Even in sleep, the mind is active. So physically, we are never inactive, and mentally, we are never inactive. So there's no such thing as inactivity, but we have lazy people do. Those who pretend, oh God, I can't do anything, I have inertia, I'm too bored, I'm tired, and so on. But that doesn't stop them also from being inactive. Because in their state of inertia, they're only thinking lazy thoughts, but they are thinking. Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, this karma, this nitya karma, this duty to oneself includes service to humanity. And the most important service to humanity starts at home. Charity begins at home, and we are told that Narayajna, service to humankind, is the highest form of service there is. So no one needs to seek out a reason to look after their parents. Not because their parents look after them, they must look after their parents. That's not the reason. No. It is not a favor for a favor. No. It is my karma for myself. It is my karma for myself. I'm not saying, oh, because my mother and father have to do because they did to me. Wrong reason. It is my karma for myself to do for any other human being. And of course, immediate family is there. We don't have to search very far to where we can help, if we really want to help. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Sabko Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Let us focus our minds upon Bhagavan Krishna as we chant briefly Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibhojitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grititam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamitavarishinim Bhagavatim Astadashadhyayanim Ambatva Manusandadami Bhagavate Gite Bhavadveshwanim Namastute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Ullaravinda Yadapatra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharita Taila Purna Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipaya Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Niyatam Kuryukam Tvam Karmajayo Haya Karmana Shariryatra Pichate Na Prasidhye Da Karmana. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Bathing, eating, sleeping, looking after the hygiene of our physical body, these are karma. These fall in the category of nitya karma, our binding duty to ourselves. Because if we don't do this, what will happen? We will die. If we don't eat, and if we don't sleep, and if we don't take care of the hygiene of our body will decay, we will die. So no one should have to tell us to do this. It's natural we should do this. Should someone have to tell us that we have a duty to look after our parents? Should we need to be reminded like we don't need to be reminded to bathe or eat or sleep? Should we have to be reminded that we need to look after our parents? No. It is also a nitya duty. Similarly, as our parents did not need to be reminded that they had to look after us, they considered it their bounden duty, we must consider it our bounden duty and a great opportunity that we can do this type of seva, this type of service. Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna, so Arjuna, engage yourself in obligatory duty, meaning feel that you're obligated, not because the obligation comes from you, not because you owe someone, but because you owe it to thine self. We owe it to ourselves to look after ourselves. And equally, we owe it to ourselves to look after others, not to anyone else. Many of us think we're doing this to do a favor. If we do something for our parents and we have to declare, I'm doing so much for our parents, we should lose our voice. Because we are doing it when we feed ourselves and put ourselves to sleep. Who are we doing it for? The next door neighbor, right? No, it's for ourselves. As such, we must become very, very conscious. Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna that this duty for action is superior to inaction. Do it. Don't let it happen and I say, I don't know what to do, I can't do, I'm not in a position to do, I don't have any time. All this complaint about this excuse about I don't have time is so prevalent in our young, youthful generation. 1 or 2 children they have and they think, oh God, the whole world I have to look after. And they come from a family for 10 children and they never ask their parents, how did you do it? But they have 1 child and their whole life is miserable. Oh God, one after this. They never have time to even sleep or eat anymore. And they blame it all on the child. So sometimes I ask them, why did you have a child? Because the child has dominated your life totally. You don't have a life anymore. No, no, no. Life and liberty and time are all within our control. We decide if we have it. We decide we don't have it. We make that choice. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Nama. He said, even the mere maintenance of your body would not be possible without karma. Even the mere maintenance of your body will not be possible if you didn't do. As a baby, someone will do it for you. But the minute you reach a certain age, you got to do it for yourself. And if you do not rise to this karma, then you will suffer. You will go to decay. You will be the one walking around with a bad body odor. Because you didn't do your duty. But when we don't do our duty to our parents, there's another kind of odor. The psychological odor. It's called the guilt complex trip that we suffer. And then, you go to this funeral and you see the children make declarations and statements about how much they love their parents. Wow. I wish their parents could hear them then. But they don't. It is just the children are trying to convince the world or convince themselves that they have love, but their love can only be true love when it was projected in karma, dharmic karma, towards their parents. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Govindaya Namo Namah.
Bhagavan Krishna continues to explain to Arjuna that this karma is yajna. That to do in the name of God or to do for parents is sacrifice. It's like doing puja. It is the highest form of puja. Now, what did the bhajan tell us last week? जिन मात पिता की से
जिन
मात पिता की सेवा की नहीं हो जिन ये हृदय श्री राम बसे
और गुलाम लियो नलियो जिन
ये हृदय श्री राम. The poet says that we can go to the Ganga, we can go to the Yamuna, the Triveni, and all of the holy places, and all of these tirthas and yatras. But if you've gone to all of those places and we have not done the first seva, what's the first seva? What's the first seva? Mother and father ka seva. Then all of those are of no value. It says, Yehi pratam tirth hai. It says, here is the first tirth. To go to the holy feet of the parents and to serve them. Not necessarily by washing their feet, but to do service for them in the name of God. Now, over the time of history, historians and philosophers and poets have written to express this need for humanity to recognize this. And our society is facing this challenge today. The reason that this subject has been discussed over the last 2 weeks, because we do have a issue, not a problem. It's an issue. It becomes a problem when we ignore the issue. Right now, there are seniors who are looking for homes to stay, and there are no homes available. That is, they're all filled up. They have a long waiting list. And there are seniors in homes who don't feel that they're in homes. And there are those who are ill and so on. Now, we need to become conscious of this, and individually, we need to look at what we can do in our respective family circles, and collectively as a community, we need to look to what we can do. Because the fact of the matter is, all of us who came to Canada or the United States from the 60s and onwards are ready for the old age home. And those people know who they are. So, now the question is, will our children put us in the old age home or not? No, that they will decide. You know? So we have to decide as seniors now how to behave or not to misbehave, because if we don't, we might not be kept at home. So, bearing this in mind that we might become ill and incapable of doing for ourselves, then will the children have the time nor the courage to look after us, or the patience to look after us, or they will be so busy looking after their children that they will have no time for us, because we are children now. These are the challenges we face. What I've done today, I've not given you a solution, by the way, because I don't know the answer. But I want us to all become conscious of the issue. The more we are conscious of the issue, the more we might be in tune to find a solution, individually or collectively. If anyone wants to talk about this subject, please feel free to contact me. If you have any ideas, suggestions, not to tell me I'm wrong about the subject, to tell me how we can resolve the issue, I'll be happy to listen to you. Yes, Natarajan.
I think both seniors as well as their children need some kind of counseling, how to deal with each other.
There's one idea. Give him a big hand. That's some proper counseling between the seniors and the younger members of the family who are there, who are faced with this challenge and doesn't know how to cope with it, and they only see one way out, and that's out. The only way out is out. Then they need counseling. So the realities are that is definitely one of the things we need to do. We need to talk, we need to dialogue, we need to understand, we need to give encouragement, we need to support, because you know when somebody has a problem, they usually see it only one way. And I leave you with this thought. Sometimes the problem is not the problem is how you're looking at the problem. So no? Sometimes the problem is not the problem is how you're looking at the problem. So when we start looking at the problem differently, we will have a different perspective of how we can address the problem. Professor Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Bhagavan Krishna explains to Arjuna in this final shloka. Om Yagyartha Karmano Yatra Lokeyam Karma Vandana Tadartha Karma Kaunteya Mukta Sangha Samachara Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna the entire world is bounded by action. unfortunately, action other than those performed for the sake of yajna. A lot of people do a lot of things, but it's not for the sake of good things. A lot of people do a lot of things and it's not for the sake of good. They're doing it because they want, they like, they dislike, not for the sake of obligatory duties, not for the sake of yajna, meaning sacrifice. He says the world is bounded by this karma. Everybody, we wake, we sleep, we love, we work, everything by this, our actions. They did this, I will do that, and so on and so on. And he said, but the karma that must be performed is karma that is yajna. He says that we are limited. We do all the other karma either for some personal desires or to satisfy some other activity, but all materialistic. But the karma that is done, that is yajya karma, he says that is very, very limited. Yajya dana tapa karma natyagyam karyameva tat yajyodanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishanam. Yajyodana tapa karma. Sacrifice, charity, austerity, good activity. Nityagyam karyameva tat. Don't give up these activities. Yagyodana tapaschaiva. He says, these activities, pavanani manishanam. He says, the wise man knows by doing these type of karma, they become pure. They become divine. They become devout. They become good human beings. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Bhagavan says that the world is bounded by actions, and he says, but not for those who perform it for yajna. So therefore, O Arjuna, earnestly perform action for yajna alone. He says, whatever you do, do it as a sacrifice. So I said, Panditji, I'm working at this job. I'm doing it to get paid, you know. Well, the rule of thumb is if you're working, you will get paid. The law says if they don't pay you, you have a recourse. And you have an agreement before you start work, you will be getting paid. So you're not working for pay. You're working to get the job done, to meet the quota, to meet the production, to meet the requirement. And you are working yourself. This is a sacrifice, O Lord, that I am making to you that I have the ability to do. And I will get paid through your grace. Because on the payday, I can maybe not be able to get up to go to work. Although the check is ready, I will not receive the pay. So we must not work for pay. Although pay is a natural result of work, we must work because we have the ability to work, the energy to work, we're motivated to work, and we know in doing this work, good will come out of this work. Ye yajna. Karma, that is yajna. So while we are working, we are also performing karma that can be yajna. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Our subject today was related to what is called Karma Yoga, the pathway of building a relationship to God through good karma. But it was built on the foundation of where we need to focus our karma. And today our focus should be on our who? Our elders. Who said that? Give them a big hand, please. Our focus must be, and you know, many of us focus upon our elders because the will thing, you know, that will. Our focus is based upon how many times our name is mentioned and for what it's connected to. Thus, it nurtures our focus. And if we are not in the will, then we are out of the way. And we say, you're out, and we are moving on. So let the will be of the mind. Will ourselves to do it, and we will be in the will. That's good, actually. I should say it again. Will ourselves to do it, and we will find ourselves in the will. Not only this will, but the other will. But if we have no will to do it, then we're always out of the will. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namah. Please join me in a brief June. For those of us who are so busy making life, that we don't have time to do much these days other than making life. We must ask ourselves, who's giving us life? And we have no time to do anything for anyone. We can't go to the hospital to visit anybody. We can't go to a wake. We can't go to anything like that because we are so busy. We have so many commitments in our lives. This bhajan is for them. दूसरों को दुखरा दूर करने वाले तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम. दूसरों को दुखरा
दूर करने वाले तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे.
ये तू जग में भलाई का काम तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम. बोलो
दुख दूर करने वाले तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम.
तू जग में भलाई का काम तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम. सत्य के पथ यह धर्म का मार्ग संभल संभल चलना प्राणी. पग पग पर यह धर्म कसौटी कदम कदम पर कुर्बानी. मगर तू दामा दो न होना तेरी तबदील राम.
दुख दूर करने वाले तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम.
किए तू जग में भलाई का काम तेरे
दुख दूर करेंगे राम.
दूसरों के दुखरा दूर करने वाले. If we work to bring relief to those who need relief, it says our relief will come from God. And if you work in the welfare of others, so too our relief will come from God. The pathway to be truly religious is built upon a foundation of service. If we cannot be of service to others, it's very difficult for us in this Grihastha ashram, in the family life, to be religious. Because religion is built upon seva, service. It says, be conscious of this, O mankind, that if you serve sincerely and honestly those who are around you, and those who you may not have any attachment with blood-wise, otherwise, but just for service to humanity, it says, this is considered to be the greatest sacrifice. क्या तूने खाया, क्या तूने खोया, क्या तेरा लाभ है, क्या हानि, इसका हिसाब करेगा वही ईश्वर, तू क्यों फिक्र करे प्राणी, तू बस अपना काम किए जा, तेरा बंदार बढ़ेगे राम.
दूसरों का दुख दूर करने वाले तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम.
ये तू जग में भलाई,
तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम.
दूसरों का दुख राम. करेंगे राम, तेरे दुख दूर करेंगे राम, तेरे दुख दूर। क्या तूने पाया, क्या तूने खोया, क्या तेरा लाभ है, क्या हानि? What would you lose and what would you gain? That's what we're all about. Oh, if I did this, I wouldn't be able to do that. If I did this, I wouldn't be able to do. We have all of these. If I did this, if I went and did something for them, I wouldn't have time to do this. And the time to do this is what I consider pleasing to me or fulfilling my obligations. And we're measuring our obligations in a very, very poor way. The one that we feel whereby, like, where the person will yell louder, that one is the one we're obligated to. Parents don't yell loud. I need your help. So no, they don't yell. But maybe the wife or the spouse or the husband is yelling louder. You stand up there. Because that is where you will have to be confronted. But so the challenge is very difficult. So, should I or should I? To be or not to be? To go there, to do that? Which one do I do? The poet says that's reality. And he's able to remember, you don't have to worry about if you'll get benefits of what you do. God is doing the exchange. He's doing the addition and subtraction constantly up there. And he says, you'll get what you deserve. Don't worry. Just do, you'll get what you deserve, but do knowing where you must do. And understand where you are needed and where it's just to make up an appearance. Many of us live lives to make up appearance, not to do what we must do and where we must be. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo. I'll conclude with this analogy that once there was a big function, a religious function being held, and a group of people who were invited, the night before they were deciding whether they should go to the function or not. And the discussion went like this: what are you going to wear to go? And and by the way, it wasn't the ladies who was having this discussion, by the way. It was a collective male and female discussion. Then why are we going to go anyway, if we don't go and we don't show our face, they will say we didn't go. So we got to show our face. So some of them decided to go to show their face. Not that there will be any value in getting or giving. Show their face and then, well, it's okay, let's go. We will meet some other people that we didn't meet for a long time. In the entire dialogue, no one ever concluded that, we are going to this place or to this function to pray to God, we might get some blessings. That is never in the picture. I hope when we come to Mandir, we are coming for blessings, not to ask God for something either. Ye Mandir darshan or siksha. We come to Mandir for the blessings of God and for the teachings of God. Siksha, the knowledge. So, whenever we are going to any place, let us not be for show, please. The world is full of showcases. We need to stop being in the showcase business and be in the realistic business. I could tell you another analogy which I think will complete this, is that a man he says, look, the angel came and said, you will have a choice to go to heaven or hell. Which one you want to go? He said, I can't decide on which one to go to. I don't know anything about any one of them. If you give me an example of what they are like, I can choose. So the angel said, okay, where do you want to go first? He said, well, take me to hell. Okay, whip. And there he is in hell, and what is? People are just dancing and having a great time. Boy, they are full of spirits. You know what kind of spirits, right? And they're high and everybody's going great. And he said, this is hell? He said, yeah. Really? Looks like fun. He said, okay, show me heaven. Goes to heaven, everybody's there, quiet, peaceful, soft music. Everybody is moving about very slowly, smiling a lot. Not a lot of activity. He says, this is heaven? He says, it looks boring. What do you want? I'll take the hell. Goes. So, lo and behold, the time comes and he's in hell. And he arrives there. The minute he arrives, people come out with pitchforks and they start sticking him and they're burning him with fire and all kind of things. He says, hold it a minute, something is wrong. This is not what they showed me. Come on, somebody clear this up. So the angel came and says, what's the problem? He said, you brought me the other day and you showed me these two things and I chose hell because... He said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. That was a commercial. This is the real thing. Many of us get caught up in the commercial of life and we miss out on the real thing. So what might look like heaven is real hell. Sri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Govindaya Namo Namo. Let me take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you here today. And Colin, who's coming here for the? Oh, I forgot. We'll have to do it. Yes. Yes. Who's here for the first time on a Sunday morning? Anyone? 1, 2, 3. Give those people a wonderful round of applause, please. We welcome you to Sri Ram Mandir. But before I proceed, we have a brief presentation from the members of our youth group. These young people are very vibrantly and vigorously and dedicatedly working and doing seva. So let's give them a big hand as they will make the presentation. I think they're about to tell you about their 5-year strategic plan to make us all happy. Right, good. They plan to build an old age home for us. No? No, okay, go. Chalo. Let's give them a big hand, please.
Sitaram, everybody. My name is Neil, and today accompanying me is Natalie, Andrew, Priya, and Kamini. Today we are here on behalf of the youths of the MRM and you. Today we are here on behalf of the youths to thank you for all of your contributions towards our group so far, and to present to you what we have accomplished this far in our last 18 months of operation. During our last 18 months, we have had 2 major projects. Our first one was to raise funds towards a dialysis clinic in Guyana, which is run by the Vishnu Mandir. Earlier this year, we were privileged to go to the Vishnu Mandir and present to them a check for $5,000 At the moment, our current goal is to raise funds for the transportation of our seniors to and from the Mandir. It is our goal to raise a total of $10,000 for this. This has been done for the last half of this year and will continue on to next year. We've been able to raise all our money so far thanks to our many fundraisers and kind contributions from everyone here. For this, we thank you and hope that we'll be able to have you in the future supporting our events.
So we've been able to raise money through events such as the Penny Drive. We asked you guys to donate pennies, unwanted pennies to us because the penny was about to become obsolete. So in doing so, we collected over 110,000 pennies, which was $1,110. Thank you so much. We were also able to raise money through our multiple car washes that we held during the summers, which you devotees have trusted the youths, us, to wash, and they left them under sparkling, shining clean. From this, we were able to raise $400. We also took turns during the summer to sell jumbo freezies, and were able to raise another $200. We also had multiple bake sales that consisted of sweet and salty snacks, and we raised another $600. And lastly, we had our chowki and raised over $1,000. Thank you so much.
The MRM Youth Group not only raises funds, but when we are together, you can find us singing, dancing, and performing at shows, watching movies on a stormy day, or playing board games and eating pizza on a Saturday afternoon. As a group, we take the time to spend time with each other, building us as a team, bringing us together as friends. We also take the time to get involved with activities at the Mandir, such as the annual picnic, the kids' Christmas party, the seniors' dinner. We do whatever we can to take the event enjoyable for everyone.
We still have a long way to go to accomplish our current goal of raising $10,000 for our senior transportation, but with your continued support and the youth's determination, we will succeed. Our annual food drive will continue until December 22nd. Our hope is to collect 1,000 pounds for the local food bank. Our hope tree is in need of leaves. You can purchase a leaf from the front office for $2. All the money raised will go directly to the Philippines relief effort.
Our youth group could not have been possible without the collective collaboration of the youths, the Mandir, and the community. The devotees of the Mississauga Ram Mandir have helped us greatly in achieving our target goals. and have overall helped us in making a difference in the world and in the Mandir. The MRM Youth Group would like to thank Pandit Sharma and the Mandir congregation for your overwhelming support and generosity, and we look forward to your continuing support in the future. Thank you.
Our youths have continued to do wonderful work. They have mentioned the Philippines fundraising effort. I've made this announcement. The Hindu Federation, which constitutes right now 14 member temples, that is the Swaminarayan Mandir, Vishnu Mandir, Ram Mandir, and many other mandirs, are collecting money that before the 9th of December will be contributed either to the Canadian Red Cross or Doctors Without Borders to be used for the people in the Philippines. If you give money to the mandir for this occasion, you'll be given a tax receipt. And then we know that the federal government is matching dollar for dollar for whatever is contributed through those agencies. We are making this a Hindu initiative whereby the Hindu community will be giving so much money, not Ram Mandir or Vishnu Mandir or Swaminarayan, but the Hindu community collectively will be giving X number of dollars to these occasions to help the needy. We see this as a new approach, that whereby Hinduism, we stop being individuals in individual temples, and we're seeing ourselves as a collective entity within the Canadian diaspora, whereby we represent a good group of people, people who care for everyone, not only for Hindus. So I appeal to you to give whatever funds you can. I have received one check already from one mandir, and as the president of the Hindu Federation, I've been pushing this idea, working with other mandirs, and they're all in support. I have a confirmation from Dr. Dubey that his mandir will come in at least $5,000 or more. We are committing $5,000 from Ram Mandir to raise these funds, and all the other mandirs have made a commitment of different numbers. Collectively, I'm sure we can raise a lot of money to give to this needy cause. So we look forward to your support. And to our youths, I want to compliment you to keep up the good work. And some of you are here regularly in the mandir. Some of you think that you don't need to come to mandir, and you know who you are. So we need to get you all in line to know that your activities are limited if you're not involved in the mandir. We don't want you to come and do show and tell. We want you to walk the talk. Give them a big hand, please. Thank you. I'm a tough cookie, am I not? They just did good things and I was tough on them, right? But these youths are very, very committed. We are very blessed in the Ram Mandir. I know that when I'm not here, the youths run the mandir. And that in itself, they must be complimented for. Give them a big hand, please. Now, sometimes we don't mention the people who are very, very instrumental in making things happen. And they're the ones who sit quietly and say very little. I would like to ask Mala Ramchand, wherever you are, to stand up, please. Mala, stand up, please. Mala is our facilitator between the executive body and the youths. Now, you know what position that is? It's a very, very tough position to be in, between youths and the others. Please keep standing.